we will talk in general about our company. We will make a short presentation, like overall, to understand like the general stuff again, and then some about some of our interesting parts, like the microbrewery, about the Castle Academy, and all the webinars that we had like last year and this year will continue from autumn. And also Jill will help us and present all the new molds that we've developed. And if you have some questions, like, don't hesitate to ask, because he also is responsible for designing and developing all of them, so he will know for sure what to tell you. And also after that we'll talk about the sales evolution, and perhaps if you have more questions on this topic, we'll discuss on them too. Okay. So next one. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Castle malting, it was established in 1868. So you can say that it's the oldest malting plant in Belgium. So it has quite a history. In 2018, we celebrated its 150th anniversary, and since then we developed quite a network of customers. So now we have like more than 3,500 brewers in over the world, in about 147 countries. In 2020, we were quite busy. And even though it was quite a year, let's say like that. So that's why we now have a range of 108 molds, which are base and specialty, also conventional and organic molds. Also, we have 3 facilities. All of them are based in Belgium, and in our team work 108 members. The thing is that we are kind of, it's not like kind of, we are quite concerned about the future generations, so that's why we try our best to minimize all the emissions of CO2 in the atmosphere. So that's why we have like a green malting plant, which I think Gilles will help me here with more details on that, because Gilles, if you can.
Yes, sure. So as Jana said, that's really the willing of the company to be as green as possible. And by green, we mean having the lowest carbon footprint as possible. And for that, we have several measures that we set up. So we have a CHP process. So that's the co-generation of electricity and heat, in order to save energy in the production of both. We have several heat collectors, so during the kilning process and even during the roasting process, we are able to recirculate the warm air to save some energy as well. We receive most of the barley by barges, so one barge is like 10 trucks less on the road, so that means less CO2 and better for traffic jam and stuff like that. So we have speed variators on most engines. So the malting plant was quite old, and we had to modernize most of the equipment. So we changed the engines to save the energy as well. We also have the project to install a biomethanization unit. So during the malting process, so malting process is steeping, germination, and kilning. And during steeping, we use a lot of water for the barley to germinate, to trigger the germination. And the water is full of carbon and nitrogen. And one way to use and recycle this water is to use a biomethanization unit to produce some gas from this water, and this gas then can be used for the kilning phase. So also a way to recover the energy. And for all the waste, well, we don't even talk about waste anymore. We talk about byproducts. They are used for natural fertilizers or for feed for cattle and others. So yeah, we try as much as possible to be a green malting plant.
Thank you. Here's the next one. So the thing is that in Plombier, in Hamburg, there is an installation of 1,100 square meters of photovoltaic panels on the roofs, and this is how we actually make all of this energy. It's used in on roasting equipment and other processes, again, to make everything as green as possible. And also here is our new electric roaster, and here I'll ask Gilles again to help me with that.
Yes,
Gilles?
sure. Yes, sorry. So most of the roasters you will see in malting houses are roasting drums. So you have to imagine like a washing machine for your clothes. We put the malt inside, and then we send some heat, some warm air to heat the product and to reach the color and the flavors we want. Here it's quite different. It's more like it's a pipe that is like a spiral, and the product is fed by the bottom and it goes to the top thanks to the engines at the bottom that will make the tower vibrate. So it's very unusual process, and the product will be heated by the pipe itself, because it's a metallic pipe that is acting like an electrical resistance. So it will heat the product by direct contact. It's a continuous flow. We don't work per batch anymore, and we are able to produce any kind of roasted malt on this kind of tower. So, and also obviously it's much greener, lower carbon footprint than the roasting drums that are eaten by fuel energy. So this is using the photovoltaic panels, the electricity from the photovoltaic panels on the rooftops that you have seen on the previous picture.
Thank you, Gilles. Also, in our in Casa Malting, we have a modern microbrewery and a micro distillery, where all the brewers who want to try some new recipes, even from our website or their own, they can come, and with the help of our experts, they can start and brew it to check if it's okay or not. And also, if you have, for example, if your clients will have some questions related to our like some brewing or distilling questions with our products, you can tell them that they can always ask us all this brewing and distilling related questions, because we have like a team of experts, technical support, let's say like that, and they will help you with all the questions that you may have. Also, in 2021, as we also had the pandemic situation and we couldn't reach physically a lot of customers and potential ones too, we decided to start a series of webinars, and they are in a lot of languages, like from English to Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, Chinese, French. And in this way, we tried to reach as many people who are interested in a lot of like interesting subjects, again, related to brewing and distilling, and also some tips and tricks. For example, here's the list of the topics. We've talked about the new malts and useful tips, the current malts and how they can use it, and about the kilned ones, about the roasted malts and the smoked ones, and also about the adjuncts. So the thing is that we've reached some new people who had their own questions and they were answered. So that was a new way of contacting people in a way. So that was a good thing, I'd say. And because the summer was quite busy again for the customers and the brewers, because it's the season, we stopped just for the summer this series, and from autumn we will restart it back with new topics and new webinars. If you I don't know, did you participate in them or did you hear about them?
No, it's the first time we hear about this. We didn't have information up to now.
Understood. Well, sorry. So the thing is that we will make sure so you will get the invitation for the next webinars, and you can also send it to your clients. Of course, it depends on the time zone, because we tried our best to gather as much people as possible by time zone and by language at the same time. Okay, so the next one. Yeah, as I've told you before, we've developed this last year more than 100 types of malts. And here, for example, you can see the red ones were the ones that we had, and the green, and the numbers with the green are the new ones. And you can see that we added like 27 types of new malts. And here I think Gilles will help us. Gilles?
Yes. Thank you, Jana, for the introduction. As you just mentioned, we have been in a very long development phase. It's I always say it's quite tricky to work for Mr. Ducey, the owner of the malting house, because he can wake up one morning, like it was in April 2020, and he told me, Gilles, we have to reach 100 types of malts by the end of the year. And then, okay, well, what can I say? I didn't even know how many malts we had in our catalog, So I did a lot of digging. I found we had 74 products. We asked a lot of questions to our own production and marketing team. We asked the customers. We looked at the competitor catalog, of course. And well, by the end of the year, we did it. We reached 101 type of malts. So we added 27 new products. Here's just an overview. So in red are the malts by category that were already available, and in green are the new ones. So for some of them, it was quite easy. For example, we didn't have much caramel malts. We only had 5 of them. And that's something I think that we are good at in the production, to have a good caramelization process. So it made sense to add 6 new caramel malts. Then we also added some malts that were missing in our product offer. We also focused on the organic malts, because as I don't know the situation in Spain, but in a lot of countries, the organic beer market is growing really fast. And brewers are demanding for more and more diverse types of organic malts. And also some new roasted wheat malts, a lot of demands for them as well. And the flakes and adjuncts were quite missing also in our product offer. So we added some new products. I'm going to briefly summarize what is new, so you can have better idea in mind of what has been developed in the last year. So just here are the list. Here's the list of the caramel malts. So in green, let's say the oldest one, and in red, the new ones. As you can see, the new malts, they kind of fill the gaps between the malts that were already existing. So they fill the gaps both in terms of color, but also in terms of flavors, obviously, it comes together. So with these new ones, I think that we have a complete range of caramel malts. There will be no new caramel malts in these categories. I think even if you look at the last name, it tells a lot. It's Cara Café, because at this point we already reach some flavors that are more typical to the roasted malts. So we kind of start hiding the caramel flavors. So I will say that that malt is a trade-off. It's a middle ground between the caramel malts and the roasted malt, the Cara Café. So as the name implies, these are more for brewers who are usually using both of these types, and they want these in a single malt. So yeah, you can find a complete description of all these new malts online. These are very successful products. We loved developing them, so please try them and tell us your feedback about these new caramel malts. So for the roasted malt and the roasted barley, we only added one new product, that is the Chocolat Light, because as you can see, we had quite a huge gap between the Chateau Café and the Chateau Chocolat. There's like 400 EBC with nothing. So the idea was to develop a malt that has some roasted flavors that are stronger than the chocolat, but trying to avoid the bitterness that is typical, this low astringency of the chocolat. So that this is a malt that is clearly a bit closer to the café in terms of color, but in terms of flavors, it's kind of a middle ground again. So it comes in the middle, but in terms of color, it will be closer to the café. There is obviously the Chateau Black of Black that falls in the middle in terms of color, but as you know, the Chateau Black of Black, if you use it, you will get the same flavors of the Chateau Black, but with a lower color. So we had to create this Chocolat Light to fit this purpose. Can we go to the next?
Thanks.
If you have questions, don't hesitate to stop me or to ask them, or even at the end. So for the smoked malt, we had Chateau smoked malt. It was a barley malt, but we wanted to add a wheat version of this malt. So we used exactly the same process. So that's steeping, germination, and kilning. And during the kilning phase, we burn some beech woods and we send the smoke inside the kiln. And the malt will absorb some phenols that are the same components, well, same family components that the peated malts, for example. And these components are responsible for the smoky flavors. The big difference between the barley and the wheat version is not the color, as you can see. It is the intensity of the smoky flavor. So because the wheat has no husk, we think that it absorbs much more quickly the phenols. And that's why the intensity is like 2 to 3 times bigger, more intense for the wheat version than for the barley version. So don't replace one by the other. We saw it being very careful about the intensity in the flavors. For the flakes and raw cereals, well, as you probably know, we are kind of living a long trend for IPAs and hoppy beers, and the new trend tend to go to seasoned beer, soul beers, low alcohol beer, and in all these styles of beer, the brewers tend to use more flakes and raw cereals. So that's why we decided to follow the trend in the beer market and had this new product. So we had 3 types of flakes, the maize, oats, and rice flakes. If you want to have more information about why using it and in which case, and some technical information, you can find that online during our first webinar on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And there is a big description with a table about these flakes. And for the raw cereals, we had the raw oats, the raw barley, and also the raw wheat will be available. So a lot of new products in this adjuncts category. Next one, please. Yeah. So about the wheat malt, that's also a good way to combine the technical and the flavor points in a single malt. So, for instance, a lot of brewers, they were using a wheat-based malt to bring some protein to the beer to increase, for example, the add formation and retention. And they were using that malt in combination with a barley roasted malt. But you could use just one malt and having all these advantages together if you use a roasted wheat malt. So that's why we added this wheat aroma and this wheat cafe to bring some roasted flavors, but with the advantage of the wheat malt. So more proteins, also these typical wheat flavors, and that is a request also from the brewers. So that's why we added these ones. For the last one, this is the Chateau Emmer. So that one is, I like to call it a UFO, you know, because it's not really wheat. It's not common wheat. It's an ancient wheat, ancient species of wheat that is called Emmer. It's not even the same species. And this one, it has all the characteristics of the ancient cereals. So you will find lower gluten content because there has been no selection on this kind of grain, more minerals, and also a flavor that is really hard to describe because it doesn't look like anything existing. It's the hammer. And some brewers, they are interested in sometimes some, how to call it, some healthy product. So they will tend to use that one if they want lower level of gluten in the beer, or maybe they want to brew an historical recipe, trying to get back to the ancient days, and then they might use this one as well. That's really for the brewers who want to brew something very original. Then next, please. Oh yeah, the organic malts. Well, we don't only have the largest range of malts in the world, you know that we reach over 100 types. We also have the largest range of organic malts in the world. I had a look online and I wasn't able to find any company able to provide more than 40 different types of organic malts. So here is the list, the table. We have 10 new organic malts that are in red. As you can see, some of them, they were already existing. We call them new products, but in fact, these are just the organic version of some of the existing malts. So for example, in the kilned malts, you can see that the Melano, the Arôme, the Café Light, these aren't new. They are just now available as organic. But for the Cara categories, the 4 new organic caramels, these are entirely new. They've been made available both in conventional and organic versions because we know already that these products will be successful. And yeah, also some products were missing in the organic range, such as the wheat Munich and the wheat chocolate. There was a lot of demand for them. And we decided also to make the oat flakes available because among the flakes, the 4 types of flakes that we presented, the oat flakes are really the number one. These are the flakes that are mostly used by the brewers in any styles. So yeah, a lot of colors, new colors for you to play with. brewers are the painters. So have fun with that. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Even if it's related to the brewing process, we have a great team of brewers working with us. So even if it's about a recipe or something like that, we can help you.
Okay.
And also, we have a YouTube channel. I'm not really sure if you, thank you, Jill. That's first of all. So the thing is that we also have a YouTube channel, and there we have a lot of different topics that we covered when it comes to the brewing or different types of molds, or our webinars in different languages, or if it's just in English, for example, we have the subtitles in a lot of languages. And also, for example, you can also see some of our clients all around the world, what type of brewing what type of beers they do. And it's like really nice to see that they are from south to north and from east to west. So that's really nice. So here we'll cover the topic of the sales over the years. So as we start our partnership from from 2020. Yes, not a really easy year, of course. And as I understood from, of course, from the numbers and from the types of the molds that you requested, that you bought, it was mostly just to check if it's okay for you, all the whole range of base molds, and also the distilling, because later this year you bought like 62 tons of distilling mold.
Yes.
And here it comes like the difference of the base and specialty molds, and yes, like that was it. Of course, you can, as after Gilles' presentation, maybe you will be interested to try more specialty molds, as they are quite like in a full range of them, and quite diverse in all the aroma and the flavor. So if you have some questions, of course, please ask.
Well, right now, I mean, as the thing is that, as you know, and as you can see from our sales, we have started first with Japanese distilleries, whiskey distilleries, because the Japanese partner we work with is I mean, is a well-known company among distillers, and in these last few years we have expanded our business, and now we can say that, I mean, we are maybe selling to the 80% of small distillers in Japan. Of course, other products, not only malt, but also used barrels or bulk whiskey, and also we're starting with yeast. And so first of all, we wanted to try with the whiskey distilling malts. But of course, we are also now contacting with some beer companies which are interested also in your products. But in Japan, the thing is that in the label, it is compulsory by law that they have to put the origin of the malt. So most Japanese companies have been buying malt from UK, and now if they want to change to another origin, they have to change all the labeling. So it is not so easy for us to introduce beer malts in Japanese market. But of course, we're working on it. And in fact, we have like a couple of big customers who would be interested in buying in container basis. So it is very good that you have all this huge range of malts, different malts, both for beer and for whiskey, because that way I think we can get to more customers. But of course, this will take more time, because distilling whiskey distilling malt is easier, I think, to sell. It's not as specialized as beer products. But of course we're working on it. And we hope that in the next few years we will also be able to sell more and more beer malts.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we don't have any specific question regarding all these types of malts, because we still have to, I don't know, study about them and get to know a little bit more. So I think that maybe the webinars will be very useful both for us and for some of our customers. Maybe the only problem is that most of Japanese customers don't speak English. So I don't know if maybe we can even try to put subtitles in Japanese or something if we find that they are interesting for our customers. Maybe we can discuss about this later on. Mm-hmm. But because I think it is very, very, very interesting that they can attend to these online webinars and learn more about your products.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We also have some videos about our malts, so it would be a good idea to subtitle them as well in Japanese.
Yes, because as you know, there are many, many craft beer, small craft beer companies in Japan, and they like beer a lot. I mean, it's a big market, and every year more and more companies are producing craft beer. So I think that it's a very, very interesting market for you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more suggestion for the webinar. So because we are talking about translating webinar, maybe have a translator for the webinars. A translator into Japanese, I mean.
Yes. So yes, we can also...
Because we do that for example, for Russian market, we translate, we do translations for other markets as well. So we can think about it too.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, and I'm Lydia, sales manager. So nice to meet you. Sorry, I was a little bit late. Okay, thank you.
Also, Lilia, if you want to add something from the commercial part, I don't know.
I was wondering just to see, maybe you made already the presentation of your company, maybe a small introduction to know better your profile and who you are and what are you doing and what kind of product are you selling and which markets do you approach? Maybe we can find other opportunities to work on other markets. So just please introduce with your company. That will be very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, I think maybe it is a little bit strange that we are in fact a Spanish company, but we asked you for the malts for Japanese markets, and the reason why is that we are an exporting company. Of course, we are based in Spain, but my father, who was the founder of a company like around 30 years ago, he is married to a Japanese woman and he lived in Japan for many years. So that's why he started with the business, with export business. And now I continued with his work. And then we, for more than 20 years, we have had a Japanese partner. The name of the company is Benidai Trading Company. And we collaborate together to export different products from Europe mainly to Japan. We also export products to China, but right now we don't export any product related to beer or whiskey. But it could be an interesting market for the future also. because also for China we mainly export a kind of I'm sorry, ay, ¿cómo se dice ahora? Sí, no, pero la arcilla. I forgot the name in English, sorry. But it's a product that it's used, mainly used for paints and coatings and construction products. Okay, it's a natural product, a mineral, which is used in different industrial products. But in the case of Japan, apart from this type of products, we also export products related with wine and whiskey and and beverages. We export barrels for wine for wineries, and also used sherry barrels for whiskey. And now we are also exporting, apart from the malt, we are also exporting bulk whiskey and yeast and more products related to all these markets. So that's why, of course, I think maybe for Japanese companies, sometimes it is very difficult to contact with European companies and to establish a relationship. Because many of them don't speak English, or some of them don't know exactly how to manage. So that's why they normally ask for help. And then, as we told you, with our Japanese partner, Benidai, we are almost like the same company, because we've been working together for so many years. And now they, as I already told you, they cover all the markets of small whiskey distillers. And now they from starting last year, they also began to contact with the beer companies. So little by little, we're trying to expand all this business related to whiskey and beer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And do you have requests from distillers in Japan for whiskey malt, not distilling, but peated malt?
Yes, in fact, I wanted to ask, because just yesterday or a couple of days ago, they asked us about peated malt for whiskey, but they thought, in fact, Japanese distillers think that peated malt is only available in the UK, and that no companies from other countries can produce peated malt. And I said, I think that Castle Malting has peated malt available, but of course I will ask you, and because we already have like at least maybe 3 companies which would be interested in buying peated malt as well.
Yeah, in fact, we have a full range of peated malt, different types of peated malt, so because of the level of phenol. And Jana can send to you our catalog, specifically for whiskey production. So we have peated malt, 5 ppm. We have whiskey light starting from 10 ppm. And whiskey until 40 ppm. So it's very peated. And that's not true that no other countries can produce peated malt. In fact, we are importing the peat from Scotland.
Yes.
And we produce our peated malt with real, but Gilles can explain more about the process of production. But we do import the peat from Scotland directly in order to produce very high quality peated malt.
Okay, great.
If you can add more technical.
Yes, I think there's a confusion here. That's not the peated malt that was stopped in production. That's the peat, in fact, the peat itself. So in Belgium, historically, we were producing peat, but it was forbidden and stopped because all these areas were not assigned as a natural area. You cannot use and extract peat anymore. But in Scotland, in UK, they keep extracting the peat, and so they keep selling the peat, and we buy the peat to Scotland to produce peated malt, but the production of peated malt can be done anywhere.
Anywhere, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great to hear, because as I told you, we have several customers who are very interested also in peated malt. So hopefully, yes, we'll also be able to sell this.
You have the answer now. You have the answer for your customers.
I'll share. I'll send you later all the malts for distilling that we have with
Okay.
more details for sure.
Great.
Okay. Shall we continue then?
Yes.
We are here. So when it comes, for example, to if some of your clients will have a question related to the malt analysis of the batch that they have, you can tell them, or you can do it that by yourself. To search it, you can search it on our website, and you just have to fill all the blank spaces here with the name, with the company name, address, and also the batch code on the bags that you have, so you can see all the analysis on the batch that you bought. I think it's quite useful information for any customer to know exactly all the data related to their product. And
but is it a different information from all the documents that you normally send together with I mean, when we buy the malt, or?
No, it's the same. It's the same information that you get
Okay.
with the original documents. But
Okay.
if you don't have the COA, so you can check for malt analysis here on our website.
Great.
Okay. Also, we've developed a app and which is called BrewMalt, and you can download it on your iPad or phone. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you can check all the information from your phone instead of checking it from our website. You can do all the things, all the same things from the app. I mean, you can check for the malts and their specification for the whole range of products, actually, which include also the cleaning products, the additional ones like yeast, spices, hops. Also, you can put you can request an order from there. You can make an order from there, and there is also the other section, which is called the brew world, and this will give it's like a newsletter with all the latest news from the whole beer industry. Maybe you're already actually getting some mails from them, perhaps from Brewworld, yeah, and it's from this industry.
Okay.
Also, well, yeah, here is like all where you can find us: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Again, YouTube is really useful for the presentation of the company and for looking for some really random information sometimes, because it's like a whole range of different topics which are related to the brewing, from the webinars that we've done before, and from how you can use beer in different ways than just drinking it, or even how to open a bottle of beer in different ways. So yes, I mean, it is quite useful, and we'll try and make more Japanese subtitles if they are needed. And also, for example, there is this introduction video which you can just show to your customer, so they will know something and they will get to know our company just through the video without a whole presentation. Yeah, because it's really faster and like more easier to understand, because it's also the visual interpretation, I guess, of the topic. Thanks for the attention, and also let's get back if there are some other questions, please ask.
Well, of course, regarding prices, you told us that now in October you would change to the new price, and normally the price would be valid for 1 year. I don't know if you already have the new prices, or if you have any idea of how will they develop, because as you told us, the situation worldwide is changing, and now molds are more expensive, and of course for us prices are very important because we are just introducing your products in the Japanese market. So at the beginning, price can be a big barrier, because Japanese companies are already, I mean, some of our customers are already buying molds from other distributors, mainly British mold, maybe also some molds from Australia, but of course, price is very, very important for us, because we need to introduce your products in the market. So I don't know if you have any information regarding this.
Lila, I'll ask you to help me here.
Yeah. Yes, in fact, as you know, probably, or not, I don't know exactly, if you are not really in the molding business for a long time. So in fact, each year we fix new prices at the end for the new crop. So new crop is starting to be molded in November, okay? So end of October, in November, December. So we fix the prices for the crop for 1 year. This year is a very difficult year in terms of the crisis on the molting market. In fact, because of a lot of circumstances, global circumstances. So in terms of barley crop, so it was a difficult year, whether in Europe, whether in Canada, that influences globally the prices for the barley. And as you know, we cannot produce malt without barley. So the prices are depending on the barley price. So in fact, the market started to change since January this year. In January, start increasing a lot, but we were waiting until the new crop, because yeah, thinking and hoping that the price will be stabilized with the new crop. It wasn't the case. In fact, it is worse than we have expected. So now prices are continuing increasing. So, but we can fix already the prices for the next year for the products that you need. So we can work on that. And Jana can send to you the offer for the new crop. But for that, please send us the quantities if you have an idea more or less about the quantities you need, because that will help us a lot to secure the quantities and to secure maybe the price as well. So please send us the quantities, and we'll try to do our best in order to give you the best price. And it's very good to have this meeting and to understand more about your activity and your business and your type of customers, in order to support you and to accord you our help to develop the market. It's not easy. The Japanese market is not easy.
Yes.
We fully understand your situation, and we'll try to do our best in order to give you the best conditions in order to approach the market and to develop the market. So it's why I know that you have you had some exchanges with Jana regarding the prices, and yeah, the last month it was really hard for us because the market was going up crazy, and we couldn't maintain our prices, and we couldn't predict what will be the next. And so for the moment, prices are more or less stabilized, but they are very high compared to last year. So the situation is a global situation. It's not just in Belgium, it's not just in France, but it's a global situation. So our competitors will increase their prices as well, and so the distributors in Japan will increase the prices as well. So for the moment, that is the situation. If by any luck we will have better conditions, so we will adapt the prices accordingly. Okay, but for the moment the situation is not so good. Sorry.
Okay, we understand. So it means that the price that, I mean, because Jana, you told us one price, and for this container that has been loaded today, you decided to keep the old price, but now there is a different price. But I don't know if you will keep this price until November, or I don't.
No. The prices changes already, and so that is difficult. We started already the new crop, and no, it will be possible to keep you the old prices. I'm really sorry about that.
No, I understand. I mean, not the old price, but you gave us a second price, and you said that it would be valid until October, or
okay.
something like that.
So,
I don't.
Okay, I will check with Jana which
Yes.
price she gave you. Okay, and we'll check the price, and we'll let you know if we keep that one or if you will change. Okay.
Yes, because we have a couple of customers who wanted to make orders maybe in October, but of course it will depend on the price, because our partner, before we started to work with you, with Castle Malting, they were already working with a Japanese distributor. It's a distributor for boat malt. So they, I mean, of course, they keep the prices from November to November the next year, and they have been working in the Japanese market for quite a few years. So they even have some stock, normally some stock available in Japan. So of course, it's not so easy for us to compete. So we need to try to, you know, to make repeat orders from our customers, and price, of course, is very important. But we'll discuss about that, and we'll give you a forecast. Of course, it's a very conservative forecast because it will depend also on the prices. But we already have a forecast for next year. Which will be at least maybe double what we ordered this year. But in the case that we can provide them with peated malt, maybe it will be even more, a higher volume. So Jana, I will let you know, and then maybe we can work on the prices and see how we can manage.
Yeah. And we can, if you have a forecast for peated malt already, I don't know, the 10 tons or 20 tons of peated malt, let us know, because it's very tough with the production of peated malt. So we need to know well in advance for the peated malt.
Of course, once Jana sent us the brochure with all the details of different peated malts, then we can inform our customers, and then they will let us know which malts they are interested in.
I also have a question. How do you think, would it be possible for you to make a stock in Japan?
Well, we would have to discuss that with our Japanese partner. Maybe it could be possible, but of course, I don't know. We have to discuss it with them. It would be easier, of course, to have some stock there, but you know.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, we have to. We have.
I mean, if you have this facility, if you have the conditions just
Yes.
for stocking.
Yes, I mean, our partner, they have warehouses. They have warehouses, but they don't have much space available right now. So we'll have to see if it's possible, maybe to have some stock.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we will let you know. Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Thanks. And also, I was just wondering, do you have like a Facebook or LinkedIn profile? Because I couldn't find on Facebook, so maybe you are different, under different name written.
No, we don't have a Facebook profile because, as I told you, as we work only with a few customers in Japan. We work just with this partner, Benidai Trading Company, and in China we are the distributors for a Spanish company named Tolsa. It's an industrial. I mean, they produce this mineral clays. Yes, the clays. Yes, that's right. Clays for industrial uses. And that's why, I mean, we up to now we didn't need any Facebook page or whatever, because we only have a few suppliers, and then these customers who already know us for 15, 20, 25 years. So that's why we didn't have any Facebook profile or
Maybe your Japanese distributor. Hi, William. It's our
William.
William.
They have a webpage. They have their webpage. I don't think they have a Facebook profile either, but yes, we will give you all the information so you can check also about them and see what they do. Because apart from all this business, they also import seeds for gardening mainly, and for other uses. So yes, anyway, I will give you at least their webpage so you can check on them as well.
Okay, thank you. Also, for example, why am I asking? Is just because if, for example, you have some interesting news or some things that you would like to promote, we can always share that on our webpage so people will know that about your company or about that event or product. It depends, of course. So that's why I asked. Kind of a networking, yeah. Okay, maybe some more questions, so I will make sure we didn't left anything out.
Yes, a couple of things. One of them was last year you sent us a draft of a contract of a a contract to be your distributor in Japan. We decided to wait a little bit and see how it went. You know, of course, you also mentioned that normally you don't sign contracts until there is a little bit of business going on and you can see exactly how we work. But we will like, if possible, to check that contract and maybe become your official distributor in Japan. And of course we would be very happy. I don't know if you received visits already due to the coronavirus, but of course we would be happy to visit you soon if possible, and see all your facilities, and even maybe if we make an agreement, maybe we can sign the contract personally there.
Lilia?
About the visit or the contract. Contract is sorry about the contract. Yes, we checked the draft this last weeks, So we can move on with the contract that you received last year from Valeria, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
So we can check and we can move on this draft. And regarding the visit, for the moment, it's quite difficult with all the restrictions and pandemic restrictions, and also we have some works at the plant. But maybe next year, so next year, the beginning of the next year, maybe January, February, so we could. We could talk about arranging a meeting and a visit at our plant.
Okay, because normally, I mean, once everything goes a little bit back to normal, hopefully in the next few months, and once also Japanese people will be able to travel to Europe again, then it would be very interesting if also we could visit your facilities with our customers, because normally customers, I mean, we take customers to Spain, also to visit, sherry wineries and to and other businesses that we are involved in. So it would also be very interesting, maybe if we could also go to Belgium and visit your facilities as well. That will help a lot for the business.
Absolutely. We can organize that, and you are welcome.
Okay, great.
But we need to arrange things well in advance, and hopefully we won't have these restrictions, and we'll be back to normal life. So
hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. Yes, definitely. We are very interested in such a collaboration with you. So
okay, great.
Okay, I don't think we have some more questions from our part again, and I don't know, maybe something else. I just really need to make sure that we cover all the questions that you have. So because it's easier to talk than to write long messages, and here we're like face to face. So that's why.
Yes, I can't think of any other question right now, but of course we will write to you, Jana.
Yeah, I will send all the things that I said. I mean, regarding the brochure of distilling, the catalog of distilling products, and I think that was it. Or there was something else.
Yes, once you resume the webinars again, of course, we would be very interested in attending. And also our Japanese partner, some of the people who work in the company can speak English and understand English quite well. So they would also be very interested. And maybe once they start to see how the webinars are, we can also invite some of our customers who understand English to attend to the webinar.
Yes,
and if we have any question regarding, and of course, please send us all the information regarding all the new products that you released, and so we can give all the information to our partner and inform our customers, and because we really want to also we want to start with the beer malt business as well. So we'll try our best for 2022 to start also with beer as well.
Okay, for sure, I will send it. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Really nice meeting you.
Thank you all for attending.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day, and see you soon, maybe.
Yes, nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
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 Yes, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, bye.